Alright, good morning. My name's Steve Robson. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. Today I'm going to be giving an instructional speech about how to create, own, and manage a fantasy football league on NFL.com. I own and manage a fantasy football team called the LD League. There's many factors involved in the creation and managing of a football league. First off, how many friends are you going to invite? The more friends you invite, the more money goes into the prize pool. But sometimes I look at it as like herding kittens because you've got to keep everyone actively involved in the league. It becomes tedious. Also, the odds go down with the more people that you invite, the less odds of winning there is. How much money are you going to charge for a buy-in to your league? You can either do vote with your league once it's established, or establish your own fee before you even start. Next, you got to do your draft. What type of draft do you want to do? There's 3 types of draft. You've got auto, live, and offline. An auto draft is where NFL.com goes owner by owner and gives out, it goes by the ranking, and it gives them 1 by 1, so it's pretty fair. In the live draft, it's where everyone's online at the same time, and they just go in order. Like this person picks one, next person picks one, next person picks a player. And then you've got offline, where normally everyone gets together in the same room, and you have your list of what players you want. You'll have your backups as well, but you'll do the same thing where the owners go 1 by 1 and pick which players they want. And then you'll have to manually go in and load it into the league on NFL.com. Next, you got to set up your league settings. You got to see how many trades, ads, and drops you're going to allow per season or per week. It's up to you and the league manager, which we'll talk about in a second. You got to set up your point system. How many points are you going to get for each offensive play? How many points you're going to get for each defensive play? I like big defensive plays, so I add more points to my defensive plays in my league. How many divisions are you going to make within your league? This depends on how many players or owners you allow to join your league in the first place. Set up your playoff settings. At what week are you going to start your playoffs? Determining factor in who's going to win. You're going to set up how many fees you're going to, or how much the fees are for your transactions for the ads and drops. You can either do a point system where you award an amount of points to each owner across the league, and then they're charged each time they perform a transaction. Or you can do a dollar amount where they've got to put more on top of their buy-in, and they're charged for each time that they have a transaction. You've got to elect officers. You've got to elect a treasurer. Now this person's got to be rock solid. He's got to be of good character, because he's going to have each owner mail him their buy-in and possibly the money that they're giving for their transactions. And you've got to elect a master at arms who's going to enforce the league rules, make sure that everyone does send their buy-in to the treasurer as well. Then you've got to elect a league manager. You can either manage the league yourself or have a co-manager, and they can change the settings throughout the league. Like I said, it's like herding kittens sometimes, or if for some reason owners want a transaction to change, then if you're not available, it's a benefit to have another league manager to help you with that. Next, you got to set up a name for your league. I started mine. Mine is the LD League, long distance. No 2 owners are in the same 2 cities at the same time. And you got to set up a story. I did a comical story for mine. You know, the guys read it, they laugh. In conclusion, you now know that there is a tedious process in creating, owning, and managing a fantasy football team or league on NFL.com, but it's fun, and I think it's worth the benefits. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening.